Minswap is a decentralized exchange on the Cardano network, which means that it is a layer 2 protocol building a decentralized exchange on the Cardano blockchain. The reason I got into Minswap was to take more advantage of my ADA holdings than they would be if I just kept them in my wallet. Now there's a concept, okay, called impermanent loss. It is a risk to providing liquidity and participating in DEXs that you should be well aware of before you would ever take part in what I'm about to show you that I've been doing for the past year. Minswap has just celebrated its year. It has just surpassed its year anniversary since inception of March 8th, 2022. So today is March 17th, 2023, and I've been participating in a liquidity provider in this DEX since day one. So if you are someone who is investing in the Cardano ecosystem, one who is trading, looking to take part in the Cardano ecosystem, this video should have some value for you. I've gained a lot of experience participating with this DEX since day one and other DEXs that Cardano has to offer, where I'll do future videos about these other DEXs, which are similar and they all have their unique aspects. Today we're going to be looking at Minswap. Impermanent loss, and there are a lot of videos out there to describe impermanent loss in detail, so if you just do a general search, you will find lots of impermanent loss videos. And I also recommend that you go on Google and you search impermanent loss cryptocurrency or something like that on Google, because then it can provide you something to read. The mixture of seeing something on a video and reading about it also can help you recognize and wrap your mind around what impermanent loss is. Now, it's my theory, since I've had the pleasure, the privilege to be participating in an investor of Cardano since 2018, and prior to Cardano, I was an investor in Bitcoin and Ethereum and ERC20 tokens, which are Ethereum native tokens, projects building on the Ethereum blockchain. Before I went way into my investments in Ethereum, I found out about Cardano and decided to consolidate most of what I had been investing in these ERC20 tokens over to the Cardano blockchain, and waited and understood that these opportunities, these decentralized exchanges, were going to come on the Cardano blockchain down the line. Now there were years, it did take years, so I've had a lot of time to research and analyze some of the other decentralized exchanges like Uniswap, PancakeSwap, that were built and pioneered the AMM, which is automated market maker DEXs, on the Ethereum side of things, okay? So I got to understand, I got to learn, I got to track, I got to analyze data without having to participate in these DEXs, so that I would gain a lot of knowledge, so that when DEXs started to roll out on the Cardano ecosystem, I would have done a lot of my own research ahead of time prior to those DEXs launching, so that I would not have to take on a learning curve, so to speak. So this video, it's my hope that you can gain some value and a little bit of education on what these DEXs are, what the risks are, and what my experience is. I was able to, through those years, understand what impermanent loss was. And basically what these DEXs are is they are an exchange that has two assets paired. You're going to see, like, this is right here, my cursor's hovering over the ADA symbol, and this is Minswap. This is ADA and AGIX, ADA in World Mobile, ADA in Meld. Basically, this pool has two assets in it, okay? And these assets are of a 50-50 ratio. Minswap here, when it first started, put up a lot of its own liquidity in the form of Minswap and ADA to begin this pool. And then it relies on liquidity providers who are people like me and you that have an interest in both of these projects, believe in Minswap, we believe in ADA, we believe in Cardano, and we have both of these tokens, and we're willing to take the risk of providing liquidity onto the Minswap DEX through a smart contract, thereby becoming a liquidity provider so that we can begin to take advantages of some of the rewards. There are a few rewards that you will be able to take advantage of when you are providing liquidity into a DEX. You will be getting trading fees. Okay, they're not that much. The trading fees are not that much, but they are one of the advantages. Your ADA will be staked in this. You will get ADA rewards. And then because you provide this liquidity, your ADA and your min, which is a 50-50 ratio. So at the time, let's just say that one ADA equaled 10 Minswap, right? So if I have one ADA, it's going to equal 10 Minswap, meaning that that is an equal ratio. One ADA equals 10. So if I put 100 ADA into this, I'm going to have 10,000 Minswap. That is going to be a 50-50 ratio. Or if I have 100 ADA and 1,000 Minswap, I can add both of those assets to this pool. And I can only add a 50-50 ratio. So I can't add 100 ADA and 900 Minswap because the ratio has to be equal. And the way that these DEXs work is that it'll aggregate that for you and calculate that when you are providing liquidity. So once you have put both of your assets in this pool, ADA and Min, or another project that you are excited about, like maybe Cornucopias or Liquid Finance, maybe Clay Nation, then what's going to happen as a receipt, you are going to get in return something called Liquidity Provider Tokens, or LPTs. Okay? Liquidity Provider Tokens are going to go into your wallet, which up here in my Chrome extension, I have a NAMI wallet. This NAMI wallet is connected to the DEX. So my Minswap and my ADA will leave my wallet and move into this DEX once I sign by my signature, my spending password. And then in return, I'm going to get Liquidity Provider Tokens. And there are a lot of videos out there that are going to explain this to you in detail. And if you research like Minswap, DEX, there's lots of people a year ago that started that can show you that process. This isn't really like a user guide on Minswap, but more about a video of my experience in participating in this DEX for over a year and continuing on, and what I think is valuable, what the risks are, so that you can do your own research, so you can make your own decisions in whether or not you want to participate and become a liquidity provider in this DEX or any others. So with those liquidity provider tokens, what you can then do is you could lock up those liquidity provider tokens and you could farm them, okay, in the pool, in the farm that you have provided liquidity towards. So every DEX, like Minswap, every single DEX has a certain amount of farms that qualify, that they work with, that they are partnered with, that will provide a farming, a yield farming incentive. So if I go over here and hit the list icon, and then see, these are the farms that I'm currently in right now. These are the ones I'm currently in. I have been a part of several others that we might get to, I might show you throughout my time, because as the year goes on and things happen and other protocols launch their applications, new news or new innovations come out, I maneuver my portfolio around accordingly, because I'm taking this very serious and I'm keeping an eye okay, on everything that I am participating in. I'm keeping an eye on the team, the news, updates, or insolvencies. Like some of these don't fulfill their destiny that you might be invested in. And there's a way to maneuver in and out before you would be at risk if you are on top on a daily basis, checking and updating what you have going on. Okay, so if I take the staked only feature off, now what we're going to be looking at is every single farm that Minswap has partnered with on their DEX. So there's the ADA Min, AGIX, World Mobile, Meld, Liquid, ADA, AADA, Indy, NTX. You're going to keep going down, Shen and Jed. These are newer ones, and newer ones add. Newer ones get added, and sometimes older ones leave, right? Because their partnership has sort of ended. Kopi, Hosky, Pavia, MCOS, Indy. Now, sometimes you might see like these two. Well, the difference is because this one here was a LB farm, which was a launch bowl farm that they have. Now, that's something that we can get into here a little later, which is a feature, another feature that Minswap has sort of pioneered. Indy was another one. In fact, Indy, you see Indy here and you see Indy here. This is the regular for the people who are providing liquidity, and this is the one for people who have provided liquidity during the launch bull phase. If you just are investing in the DEX like today and you have Indy and ADA and you want to provide liquidity and you miss that farm, you can still provide liquidity over here. Or you could go on the secondary marketplace like JPEG Store and purchase the specific NFT that you would have gotten if you participated in this. You can actually get the NFT, so you were airdropped an NFT that you would then be able to lock up in this farm to take advantage of higher APRs. See that APR 70% here? Down here, what is it? It's a little different, right? 13.52, a lot different. This is just to show you that there are all these farms. It looks like they're never ending, but here they are, they do end. And if I go back to my little boxes, which is, I like this feature a little bit more. Again, I'm a part of these three right now, currently. So I currently have positions here in these three. What you're gonna see is ADA Min. You're gonna see the APR. What is that? The Min APR is gonna be 36.72%, ADA APR 1.86, trading fees APR over a 30-day period, 1.46%. These percentages will fluctuate and change over time as the DEX grows and swells and breathes. As the DEX breathes, or as this pool breathes in and out with liquidity and swapping. So that gives you the APR. They have different farms like lion, mouse, cat, dog, and if you go on their Discord, which I recommend, you will be able to, in their documents and go on the Minswap website and do your research, and they explain what all these farms mean, and they readjust these farms, okay, like every month. So they're way on top of that. Meld, for instance. So Meld, right, wasn't one of those three that we saw up here that I was a part of, but this was one that I was a part of. See, right now there's nothing to harvest. I'm not in this. I don't have anything staked. Up here these are my liquidity provider tokens in this one. Okay, in my AGIX, and when we get down to NTX, I'll show you those, but I have nothing staked in World Mobile at the moment, but this is another one that I used to be a part of. Being a part of this pool for a lot of epochs, actually, it gave me 3,277 Minswap, okay? Meld, that one gave me 16,000, okay, so that was a good performer. Liquid is another one I was in. That gave me 2,400. Okay, AADA is another one that I was in. That gave me 5,000, over 5,000. And this was before it was a triple farm. See, some of these farms, you're gonna see three icons. You're gonna get Minswap, you're gonna get ADA, and you're gonna get the actual token partnered in the pool, right? So you're always gonna get ADA because that is staking. And you're always going to get Minswap because it's their incentivized feature that will help mitigate impermanent loss. Okay, that's why this yield farming is powerful, because it's meant to offset this impermanent loss that I'll touch on. Just kind of rolling down some of these pools so you can understand. Now, NTX, okay, is another one. This triple one that I'm a part of right now. This is how much I'm currently right here that I have available to harvest. So like 0.5. I just actually harvested yesterday. I harvested this yesterday, and it gave me 1,049.44 min, 5.9 ADA, and 473 NTX. And I did it around 3 o'clock yesterday. It's 1:30 today, so almost 24 hours later. I have acquired already 101 min, 40 NTX, and a half of an ADA. I was a part of this farm, and I participated in this farm heavy. I mean, not heavy, but just substantially. I supported this farm, and I'm not in it anymore. The Indy protocol came out, and I moved things around, but I did get that NFT, and I was able to farm, and it was a very productive farm. 17,000, over 17,000 min, and 123 ADA, and I got Indy out of it, which was really wonderful. It was really fantastic. You have Jed, you have Shen. These are newer farms. Again, I think the mouse farm. Kopi, I provide liquidity in another DEX that I'll show you in another video. Hosky here. This was one I did before it was the triple, I believe. That gave me 676 min. Pavia, again, one that I was in, 11,000, over 11,000 min. I did not participate in this farm because here, this was the first one that they put out, and I didn't really understand what it was. And I'm a very cautious participator. I wanted to understand what this was and see this go through. Plus, I didn't really know much about this project. So I kind of like stayed on the sidelines and watched it happen. It's a very successful farm. It's a very advantageous farm, and which then gave me the confidence and understanding, the education to participate in this Indy LB farm, which was the second one. So there have only been, up till now, March 17, 2023, those two launch bull farms. Okay, so there's the Indy one. Vi-Fi was another one that I was in since the beginning, before it was the triple, over 5,000. Okay, let's see if there's any other ones. These are newer ones that came. These are synthetic Ethereum, synthetic BTC, and IUSD. These are Indy protocol assets. So you could do your research and check out the Indy protocol. They wrap synthetic assets, and it's much more complex than that. Here's one that I did too before it was the triple. I had 20,000 min. This was a really wonderful performing farm. Okay, and I think that's it. You see these ones that say no min, you're just going to get the FLAC rewards, okay? You're just going to get the AWU rewards, the Disco rewards. So when you are providing liquidity, one, you might want to think, well, does it have a farm? Because it helps with impermanent loss. So let's kind of go in to what impermanent loss is. Okay, so for me personally, I really don't participate in pools that do not have a farm. So if I'm participating this entire year, it was with ones that had farms. Okay, so be sure, because in this DEX, another DEX is there's like indicators that make it obvious. And it could be that in any day, they can put a feature together that would show you that there's a farm available. Like right here would be like a farm icon, but you're really not going to know, right? Like as you see, when I scroll down, I'll kind of go slow. When I get out of like this one here, strip, or NFTC, really that wasn't a farm. There wasn't a farm up there for that one, but there was one for FLAC. There was one for CLAP, right? There was one for ETH, but there wasn't one for, like there was one here, but there wasn't one here. So do your research, take a bit of time. I mean, before you're gonna lock up yourself into a liquidity position, do your research. Now, if you lock yourself up into a liquidity position with 50-50 assets, and then like a second later, you're like, oh my God, I got to get out of this because you're nervous, you could just get out of the position. You will take a little bit of loss on some fees and stuff like that, but you could definitely get out. I will say that if you are thinking about providing liquidity into a decentralized exchange, you are committing for a long-term investment. That's what your mindset should be. If you're thinking, I'm going to be in this for a little bit and try to get some Minswap and try to make some money real quick and get out, that's not the right approach because of impermanent loss. Now, what is impermanent loss? So let's go back to my farms to check it out. Okay, so here we are in my farms. Let's go to mine only, and I'll show you here with the boxes. Okay, so actually the ADA Min farm has been the greatest producer since the beginning. Again, I farmed this yesterday, okay? It's almost 24 hours. In 2 hours, so it's 22 hours, over 1,200 min, and we're climbing towards 7 ADA. Now, since the beginning, I've harvested over 580,000 min here in this farm, and it's over 2,000. The last harvest I did yesterday broke that 2,000 ADA for me. This farm here and the farms that I'm in now relates to my liquidity positions. So you can go up to this liquidity tab, come down here, and you can always check on your liquidity to see what your pools are doing. Okay, so I'll kind of open them all up here. Open them all up. That's cool, they perfectly fit into the screen. So this is my ADA and Singularity Net, Min, NTX. So here we go. The pooled ADA that I have is 33,439. And the equal value of Min at this current time is 315,000. So right now, those two portions equal each other. Okay, and here are my Liquidity Provider Tokens that I have staked in the yield farms. And this is my pool share. So I can calculate what my earnings will be, my liquidity provider fees will be, if I wanted to calculate that back in the overview when I actually look at the general pool overall, which I've done a bunch. I might put a video out about that. And it's not that much, okay? You're not getting a tremendous amount of fees right now, but you do get some, and they get added to the pool so that your liquidity provider tokens will have a little bit more value, and the longer you stay in, the longer that accumulates. Now, it's not that much, but again, you're staking your ADA, you're farming your ADA, you're farming the Min, and in some of these pools like down here, you're getting the triple. You're getting the actual NTX as well as the ADA and the Min. Up here, I have 9,000, over almost 10,000 ADA here, AGIX, and my NTX, okay? So I have 7,000 ADA. I have the almost 35,000 NTX. So what is impermanent loss? So impermanent loss happens when the price of one of these maybe has a spike and the other one doesn't. There are several variations to what can happen. So for instance, AGIX can go up. ADA could stay the same. AGIX could go up. ADA could go down. That's another situation. AGIX could go up, ADA could go up. That's another one. ADA could go up, AGIX could stay the same. ADA could go up, AGIX could go down. ADA could go down, and AGIX could go down. So there are many different variables that can occur with the price action of either of these two assets that you own. Okay, so in the case that AGIX would go up and ADA would stay the same, what's going to happen is the price of AGIX goes up. Now, what's going to happen in a decentralized exchange automated market maker DEX like Minswap is that there are arbitrageurs that will come in, okay, and purchase the AGIX from the overall pool that you're a part of. And then they will go take that AGIX, that might be, let's say AGIX is 1.4 of an ADA, okay, right? So if we go to the overview, see AGIX here? So 1.5 AGIX equals 1 ADA, okay? or 1 ADA will equal 1.53 AGIX. Now, if this shoots up to 1.8, meaning that 1 AGIX now is equal to 1.53 or 1 ADA, right? Then you're going to see movement in the farm. Now, this happens because the prices here on the decentralized exchange stay where they are until the centralized exchanges move the price. So a centralized exchange like Coinbase or Kraken or Binance, and there are lots of other exchanges that are centralized where they have an order book system, which means that buyers and sellers, a buyer will put a buy order in, a seller will put a sell order in, and then that will create an order book where buyers and sellers sort of meet each other at a price that they would agree on, and then that initiates a trade. Okay, so you have a different way of having the price change in real time on a centralized exchange. So when people are trading in AGIX or even on decentralized exchanges, so if somebody comes in here and buys a whole heck of a lot of AGIX right off of this exchange at this price, but over on another exchange like SundaeSwap, the price is going to be this, 1.53. But if somebody comes in and buys a tremendous amount of this, what's going to happen is I could buy AGIX here for this price and then sell it on another exchange that might have a higher price per AGIX, right? That might be like 1.8. And arbitragers are going to make a profit on that difference. And so what will occur is that arbitragers will come into this pool until the price here works its way up to that standard price across all DEXs, which would be 1.8 in this example. Okay, so it will then become not advantageous for arbitragers to do any more arbitrage because they'll start to lose money, actually, right? So that's how the price stabilizes. In your farm, okay, your liquidity position here, what's going to happen is because people are buying more AGIX to take advantage of arbitrage, you're going to have less AGIX in this pool. And you're going to then have more ADA as a result because they're going to use ADA to buy your AGIX. And so there's going to be less AGIX in the AGIX portion. And now you're going to have more ADA. So the equal amount is still the same. 9,962 ADA equal this 646. To give you reference, when I first started this pool, like maybe I would say a month ago, it was over 7,500 AGIX. And there was like about 8,000 and some, 8,200, 8,300, something like that, ADA. Now AGIX has gone higher and the price has been moving up with all of the AI, the artificial intelligence news that has come out. And so here you see that I have now 6,400, almost 1,000 less AGIX, and I have 1,000 more than 1,000 more ADA. So impermanent loss is this right here. If I were to have kept my 7,500 in my wallet and did not put it in this pool, the value of my AGIX will be greater, obviously, than what this amount is, because the price went up. So my 7,500 AGIX will be a lot more than what this is worth, and it will be more than what it would be if I kept my 82 or 8,300 ADA. If I would have kept that ADA in there, even with the addition of this ADA, if I were to sell this amount here, it's not going to be as much as what this would have been if I'd sold that 7,500. People call this impermanent loss. So there's a loss here. So if I were to sell this pool right now and liquidate my position and get out of my position, the overall value of this pool is going to be less than what the overall value of the pool was when I first started with 82 or 8,300 ADA and 7,500 AGIX. That's a loss. Now it's impermanent because if ADA's price goes up or AGIX's price goes down a little bit, you would see this pool stabilize and it might return back to the equal parts that I actually put in, or near to it. That's why it's impermanent. That's why, again, I stress, if you're thinking of providing liquidity, you must think in long terms. The second thing that I would say that it's powerful for me, so I never stress about impermanent loss, and this is the reason why, is because I believe in both of these projects. I believe in ADA and I believe in SingularityNet. I've done an extensive amount of research, and I'm comfortable with both of these projects. So to me, the fact that I have more ADA, to me, I'm happy about that. I have less AGIX, okay, great. That isn't that good, but I'm happy to get more ADA. And if ADA's price would skyrocket and AGIX doesn't in the same rapid rate, you're gonna see I'm gonna lose ADA from this pool and I'm gonna have more AGIX. Well, I'm gonna be happy because I'm gonna get AGIX, which I want. You're not getting into these pools to like sit here and get rich quick or whatever. You're getting into these pools and providing liquidity because you are participating in two projects that you believe in. You believe in both of these projects. So you keep it in there, because remember, we're getting, okay? We're getting, and this is what the farms are. The farms give you some incentivized reward to mitigate impermanent loss. And in this case, I'm getting AGIX tokens, MIN and ADA over time. So the longer I stay in this, I'm gaining reward on these that will help mitigate that impermanent loss over time. It's not something that you want to be in for a month. You don't want to be in this for 2 months. You want to look at this for a minimum of 6 months, but even better would be a year or like 2 years. You know, I know that's a long time, and that's sometimes hard for us to wrap our mind around, but you're in this for the long game, and you're starting off small, or however you feel comfortable. But I started off extremely small and have learned and educated myself, and met the team. I was actually at the 2021 Cardano event in Wyoming. I met the AGIX team. I took pictures with them. I believe in them. I've researched a lot of MIN. I met Charles Hoskinson at the 2021 event. I met lots of people, the Sunday Swap team, met a lot of stake pool operators. I met a lot of people and learned a priceless amount of information. That was well before these DEXs launched. So do your research. Think of long term, because these DEXs have a great opportunity for you to take advantage of yield greater than what would occur in your Daedalus wallet. I say Daedalus wallet, that's just one of the major secure wallets on the Cardano blockchain, but there's Nami, there's Giro, there's Eternal, there's Flint. There are other wallets that the Cardano ecosystem offers. You can also stake your holdings in the Cardano ecosystem, which is again another reason why I saw Cardano as one of the better blockchains to be participating in, because it's pioneering aspect of liquidity staking, liquid staking, meaning when you stake your ADA to a stake pool from your wallet, you have a stake address that goes to the stake pool operator, which represents your stake, but the funds never leave your wallet. They stay right in your wallet to where you could at any moment withdraw, send, add to. It's liquid for you. And the entire time, they're taking snapshots every epoch of how much you have in that wallet that represent your stake. And you will get rewards to that, to the percentage of the rewards calculated to your wallet every epoch. And that is something you can't find in any other blockchain. So even if you just have your funds in your wallet on Cardano, you're farther than most people who are doing anything on any other blockchain. And I wouldn't trust leaving your funds on centralized exchanges. Really do your research. Really do your research. Believe in the projects you're investing in first. You shouldn't be thinking, oh, I'm trying to become rich or wealthy. Do your research. Follow and get involved in protocols that mean something to you. You know, AGIX, what they're doing is fantastic work. World Mobile, they're doing wonderful things in Africa. It's just incredible what some of these projects are doing. They're all doing something unique, and you could take advantage by supporting them with your hard-earned money, and then they can help you in return when you partner and you can get invested in some of these incentivized practices like liquidity providing. But there are risks, right? You could lose your money. You could lose a part of your money, like I just kind of described in how the pools can fluctuate. Okay, for instance, this said about, I think this was 27,000 ADA, about 380 or 90,000 min. And now the min has gone down to 315. This is 33,000. I'll keep these pools exactly where they are. I won't add or lower the liquidity. So you can prove that by how much liquidity provider tokens are here. So you can see them. You can just pause and check them out or whatever. And then the next time I do the video in a month where I'll show Minswap again, you know, this could say 50,000 ADA. This could say 200,000 min. That is what can happen. And you might be really upset if you're in this position and you're thinking, man, I could have cashed in on that 115,000 min that would have given me XYZ amount in relation to, you know, what the 15,000 or more ADA would have given you, which might be like 3/4 less than that min yield that you would have gotten from that 100,000. So that is what impermanent loss is. But try to keep an open mind, because impermanent loss is something that people like, I see a lot of FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt with impermanent loss and how you're gonna lose all your money, but don't take farming lightly here. I mean, you're gonna be getting rewards also that sort of mitigate that stuff. Another fantastic feature that Minswap offers is a zap feature. A zap feature is if I only have one of the token. Like if I want to get into the ADA min pool, but I only have ADA and I don't have any min, or I just have min and no ADA, you could zap in your one, like let's say I just have Minswap. I can put all that min in there. So 23,000 min is $840. And I will select this LP token and see how it's going to give me my LP tokens. And it gives you all the calculations. It gives me the share of the pool and all of that stuff. Okay, and then what happens is if I would hit the zap button and sign this in, it's going to split this ratio in half for me. I'm going to now be in a pool that has 23,595 divided by 2. So I'll have what? I'll do it on my calculator real quick. 23,000 divided by 2. 23,595 divided by 2, just to kind of give a rough estimate, is going to be 11,797. So I will have in this pool 11,797 min and the equal ratio in ADA. You're not going to have 11,000 ADA. You're going to have however much 11,000 ADA is according to the price. So actually, half of $840. So 840 divided that by 2, you're gonna have $420. So 420 times the current price of ADA, which is like 33 cents, times like 33. So you're gonna have in here 11,597 and 138 ADA. That's how your pool's gonna start. These are your LP tokens that'll go to your wallet. Boom. Yeah, so I'll just leave it at that and you can do your own math, but that's what happens. That's what happens and how you get zapped in if you only have one of the projects. Instead of providing liquidity here traditionally, where you're going to need both tokens if you were just to add liquidity regularly. All right. I know that's a little complex, but again, take your time. They have all kinds of documents on Medium. Their Discord is something I will recommend you watch also, because then you're going to see more in detail. Let me see if I can get over to their Discord and show you that real quick. So here I am in Discord. I'm part of many of these projects' Discords, and I recommend if you're investing in something, you be a part of their Discord. So I'll click Minswap. See here, they give an announcement, same on the announcements tab. They're celebrating their year, Stronger Together, right? So here is a picture of, I don't know if you can see that, where these are their farms: lion, tiger, cat, dog, mouse, like I just said. And then here are the two launch bowl ones that we talked about. and they sort of redistribute the points and the changes. They're very transparent with announcements. They show you how these things will change and innovate. See, this is a little video where it's like the export, right? You can ask any questions you want. I'm trying to find where they would. See, they give these little videos. It's so wonderful. Yoroi now alive. They're supporting Yoroi wallet. Again, another balancing. So again, check out, and if you have anything that you want to say, you can go ahead here and you can like ask them any question. And I've done it. I've had to. I was like, what happened here? What's going on? Or something's not working well with my DEX. They will take you through the process and make you feel extremely comfortable. And it is just a very diverse, robust ecosystem. Minswap, very robust. Highly recommend you do a little bit of work to understand more about them. And they continue to, surprise me. They continue to surprise me in a positive way. And so that's the video on Minswap, right? They continue to update, they continue to produce, they continue to perform. They're out in the open. You can see their team on some videos. If you search around, they're very upfront, they're very open. They have a governance aspect to them as well, so they're allowing you to vote on projects. And there is much more to come out. And right now, they're the leading DEX on Cardano's blockchain with about a 33% dominance. So they're doing good things. Okay, so I encourage you to take a little bit of time, not much, research what you can, and then do more and more before you or whatever want to invest, and do your own research, do your own due diligence. Okay, this isn't financial advice, this is an educational video, and cheers to that. I hope to see you guys in a video soon, and stay strong.